Every day, Davish Simango does a tour of his city, inspecting the reconstruction of Beira. With the destruction of Cyclone Idai still visible everywhere, the mayor is determined to stay in close contact with the residents. Simango is trying hard, but he can't always help. The mayor is part of an opposition party. After the cyclone, he strongly criticized the central government for its slow response. The city's annual budget is only about 13 million euros.
It was very difficult. We went hitting until they understood that they need us. We need us, they need us, we need them, we need everybody. That's why I spoke to the donors, I spoke to the central government, and I told them that we need to join forces. And I'm happy that they agreed with us.
By now, 8 organizations are active all over town.
The water supply has been restored. Parts of the city have electricity again. But there are also setbacks. The number of malaria cases is on the rise. And despite mass immunizations, Mozambique has reported more than 3,500 cholera cases.
Mayor Simango meets 8 workers in an improvised hospital. He gets an update on the situation and wants to know how he can help. You have to talk to the people, sensitize them. You have to tell them how to avoid cholera. They have to boil their drinking water.
The doctors working here, they're still worrying because there's still some cases coming in and we need to stop it. I hope that we are going to do that. The most important, myself and my team, to be in the ground, talking to the people, advising them the care they need to do. I'm sure that we are going to stop it.
The next problems are waiting, so Simango is hitting the road again, full of optimism and drive, despite the difficult situation.
I feel a challenge. And I feel that something has to be done, and I feel as a part of person who has to do something. So I feel great. I feel as a person who has choice to face this disaster, as a person who has choice by God to face all the challenges my people have to face now.
Simango's next big plan, a donor conference in May. He wants to collect more aid money for the reconstruction of his city, so the people of Beira can live here once again like they did before Cyclone Idai.
Let's get more now. We are joined by our correspondent, Adrian Kriesch. He is in the airport there in Beira, where the humanitarian response is being coordinated. And Adrian, you know, from your piece that we've just seen there, we saw a bit of the situation, or a window into the situation in Beira. How do things look further outside in rural areas, though, in Mozambique?
I went further outside, about 3 hours outside Beira yesterday, to a town called Guara, a 3-hour trip by road on a very bad road, and the situation there is still much worse. You can imagine that people live there in more poverty even, so that many of them just live. All of them were blown away. The worst thing for now is, though, that also all the crops were blown away. I went with an old lady on her field. She showed me all the maize was gone. She has nothing to eat anymore. She completely relies on food aid, and she said it will take her at least 6 months until she can grow things and harvest new maize again. So this is a long time, and for all this time they will really...
And Adrian, we have to mention, it's not the first time that Beira has been hit by a natural disaster. The city has seen many floods in the past. Talk with us a little bit more about preparedness and with coping in the future, or efforts even to prevent further disasters like this.
Right, the city tried to react already many years ago. A few years ago, they started constructing a drainage system through the city center. That was a multi-million euro project, also supported by several governments from Europe, amongst them Germany. And the mayor told me that without that system in place, it would have been even a bigger disaster here, because Beira was lucky in a sense that it was only hit by the cyclone. At least the city center and the floods were not as bad as they were outside in the rural areas. So this project really helped, but it is not enough. It is just in one part of the city, and in other parts the situation is still really terrible if you think of more floods possibly to come in the next years. You have a lot of parts of the town that are bordering directly to the sea, and when you go there you can see how close the sea came over the years. Several rows of houses were already taken by the sea, and I told to people living there, they said, well, we would love to live somewhere else, but we can't afford it, but we know that in the future our houses are really under threat as well.
Adrian Kriesch in Beira. Thank you.